plane, wasn't it?
Proper plane.
That was a proper plane. Yeah.
It's supposed to be lobster jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just stopped here so that you can sort of like appreciate a path that's been there for about a year or so. We'll walk along it and then we'll carry on up to where those folk are above, and we'll go on towards the bottom of Gleebury there, and we'll come to another aggregate path that we put in about 2003, I think, which is further beyond, and it's blended in. It's had longer to sort of grow back in. The reason we did this one here, if you came up here this time last year before we'd done it, there wasn't a massive obvious erosion scar there, but as you walked along you'd find that there was a complete change of vegetation where folk were walking, that went out for something in the order of 15 metres or so on either side, and that change was a real sort of it was a horrible boggy type plant that wasn't what ought to be there. That ought to be, you can see the heather pretty much goes straight across, and it ought to have been like that all the way through. But people change it just by trampling, and this is the obvious desire line straight across. People have trampled it, and it was just spreading wider and wider because everyone would go out into the heather on either side. And I think probably as you all know, heather is a plant species of European importance, so wherever possible we try to protect it if we can. So we put this path in. Now this path here, when we get to it, we haven't brought any material in here at all. That material is the naturally occurring material that we get underneath the vegetation. We're really lucky here in the Lake District because this generally, in boggy areas like this, underlies the bog, and it's your glacial moraine from the last ice age. When it comes out like porridge. It's the texture of porridge. It doesn't taste quite as nice, but it's that sort of texture. And it's all, if you tread in it when it's first come out, you just go straight up to your knee in it. It's absolutely horrible. And you'd think, when we first do it, if anyone walks into it, they just go, what on earth are you doing? But within about 3 or 4 days, even if it pours with rain actually, all the water gradually drains out of it, as long as you've got it above the water table, and you'll see how we've done that. And it sets almost like concrete, it's nice and hard. And on lowish gradients, up to about sort of 15 degrees, it's a brilliant surface. So we've done this in many places, Blencathra, High Street, all over the place. And this technique actually was how High Street was built 2,000 years ago. I don't think they used the same diggers that we use now. We had a Hyundai on here, and I think they used to use Fiats because they were obviously from Italy. But the profile, when we cut a profile through High Street, or when the archaeologists cut a profile through High Street, it's exactly the same profile as we've used on this. So there's nothing new under the sun really. We're just doing exactly the same. And of course, really, if you like, the Romans did High Street in order to get lots of people over it. And really, we're doing the same thing. We don't want to do it to get lots of people across, but we're doing it because lots of people are going across, and they're damaging it. So we're doing exactly the same thing. And when I say we're just using exactly the same technique. So this, no material imported at all. We haven't brought this from B&Q. We've just used what's here.